We've had 3 ducks hanging around the neighborhood, and today they were they were in my backyard. They were in my backyard today,
Yeah.
and I saw them the other day across the street. But it's 2 males and 1 female hanging out together. So
Thruple.
yeah,
Welcome to the Cookie Bookie Club. Today we are doing our April roundup. We're going to chat about all that we read in April and what we'd recommend.
Yes.
I'm excited. How was your reading month, ladies?
Mine was good. I read a good amount of books, I feel.
and mine was one of the lowest because I was working way too much in April. So
Yeah.
it got the bigger piece of my life pie.
Aw.
So
Aw.
That's a funny way to put it.
Yeah, I did a lot of audiobooks this month. Things are getting super busy for me, and like May is crazy busy. So I'm going to be leaning on a lot of audiobooks.
Nice.
Well, let's start with the book we all read for our April book club, which was
Good
Stick
idea.
by Mary Roach.
Yes.
And so this book is about what happens to your body when you donate it to science. It's super interesting. Mary Roach, the author, has a way of writing that makes it, even though it's a heavy topic, feel light as much as it can. She's very funny. She's obviously kind of more of a dark humor. But I learned a lot with the book, so I personally rated it a whole cookie. I would definitely recommend. And the newer publication of it has an additional epilogue because it was written like 20 years ago, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah. Mom, what about you? What would you rate it?
I rated it, I want to say I rated it just under you, and I don't remember why I did that. Because I did like it. I thought it was very informative. But I guess it's not a book I would recommend to every single one of my friends to read. They would think I was kind of cuckoo nuts, so.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that it wasn't a book that you would get lost in because it's nonfiction.
Yeah.
And it's just not that type of book. So you feel like you need to
4
get lost
bites.
in a book.
Yeah.
Yes.
4 bites. That's good. Right, Kate?
Yeah, this was one of I read it later in the month, and I did the audiobook. And I feel like it was similar. I didn't get like lost in it. And the audiobook was, sometimes audiobooks are hard to listen to. I'm very picky when it comes to audiobooks, but I just didn't have the time to sit down and read it. But yeah, I think I gave it 2 bites, half a cookie maybe. It was really informative, but there were some parts of it that were really hard to read for me personally. So I gave it 2 bites, but if anyone wants to hear more of a deep dive, this was our book club book. So we have like a really long podcast that goes super in depth. We went like chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but if you got a road trip going on, it went by pretty fast listening to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we'll listen
Awesome.
to it when we go on our road trip. Yeah, but then I think we should
so-
go, what'd you call it? Round robin? That's what it's called?
Yeah, we're going to do what did I say? Oh, we're going to do I forgot what I called it, but a roundabout. Yeah.
Oh.
Wisconsin. We got a lot of roundabouts. A roundabout roundup.
Mm-hmm.
One by
There
one.
you
we're
go.
gonna- yeah.
Okay.
We're going to give one of the books that we read and then pass it along to the next person until we're finished chatting about the
Yeah.
books we read.
Cute. Okay, Sandra
so-
starts.
All right. The first book I read in April, Judge Stone, which is a collaboration between James Patterson and Viola Davis. I listened to the audiobook, which is read by Viola Davis, and it was so good. So good. I think I gave it, I was going to look at what, I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 bites. So Judge Stone is about a judge in Alabama, and she gets presented with a case that is about a very young child, and she went to have an abortion. And so now the teacher is on trial because that is illegal to perform abortions. And
Doctor? You said teacher on trial.
what did I say?
You said
oh,
teacher.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like, what teacher is giving abortions?
Well, okay, I'll say that the reason why I said teacher is because there's a school nurse who is the one that connects her to the doctor. So I was thinking like in the education world. But anyway, so just kind of there's lots of layers of all kinds of really heavy things happening, but the characters are all really great. And the whole time I was just picturing Viola Davis as the judge and thinking it would be just a really good mini series. And she's hinted at that. So if that does come to be, I would be super excited to watch it. So yeah, really good. I gave it 4 bites only because it is something that I would be hesitant to recommend to everybody. Just there's probably a lot of trigger warnings in it. But
That's fair.
Okay, Mom.
Okay, so I read the first book in April or whatever, the Sunday Philosophy Club.
What was so like?
I don't know. I'm getting all confused.
Mom's lying. She didn't read it in
So,
April.
yeah, it was the Sunday Philosophy Club, and it was by Alexander McCall Smith. Okay, and I had read his #1 detective agency book before, and for some reason I thought this was because I know he writes, you know, where you have one after the other, like series and stuff. And so,
Also, you can totally tell Mom is like brain fried today.
Yes. Yeah, she's been sick for 5 days.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyways, I thought I was reading one of the #1 detective agencies, ladies ones, and in that book, she's like an African woman, a little bit on the pudgy side, and this one was not. You know, I'm like, what is going on here? So it turns out he has another series, and that has to do with the philosophy club. So I felt like I don't think the mystery got solved until the last page. And in the meantime, we went, I mean, she should be a soul sister to me because she went everywhere but to the mystery. You know, like they would talk all of a sudden, oh, it had this type of window. And then we learned all about those type of windows, you know, or whatever. To me, it rambled a little bit. It rambled a lot. And
Your soul sisters with a rambler.
yes.
I can
And then
see it.
it was just, you know, I was just in the wrong book too, you know, so I was very confused. So
Okay.
I
what
gave
did you
it
say?
half a cookie.
Okay, half a cookie. Okay.
Oh my God.
See,
Okay.
that was a roundabout way to get to my reading.
That's why I'm saying
Or rating.
I could see a rambler being your soul sister. So is the book you did read, is it a part of a series, the one before? Mm-hmm. And so have
Both
you
of them
figured
are,
out
yeah.
what that series is, and are you going to get the next book?
No, no, I'm done. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
No, I was like, no, yeah.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with the book. You know, it's just not for me.
Yeah. Okay.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay. My first book of the month was Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. So good. Delicious. Loved it. It's a young adult horror novel, and it's a botanic horror, so there's a lot of like, you know, deathly vines and stuff like that. But it also, there's a love story in it between the main character and another guy, and like one of them writes these horror poems, and then the other one draws. So there's drawings in here. I want to see if I can find one. There we go. which I like want to rip out the pages and frame them because they're so cool. Like there's different drawings in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really. Sometimes I feel like young adult novels are like written so smartly, and I love them so much. So I felt like reading this and feeling. I don't know, I felt so smart reading it. I was like, this is so written so well. And she actually just came out with a adult horror novel, which I will be getting later on, after I finish my current TBR challenge.
Which you're doing very good on.
I've read one book in my TBR,
Yes.
Mom.
You're on to your second, though, now.
Look,
That's very good.
nobody is as supportive of a cheerleader as Mom is. Like,
I could have read none, and she would have been like, "You're doing so good
You are
thinking
doing
about
great.
it. Like you have a plan." But yeah, I think I gave it a whole cookie because I just loved it so much. I said like even the crumbs, I would just eat it up. Yeah, it was really good. It was a funny story about this one. We went to Barnes and Noble, and there was a really talkative guy who was working there, and he was like, "What are you into? What are you reading?" And I said that I wanted to start getting into like more horror, that I love thrillers, and he was like, "This is a perfect intro to horror." And I picked it up, went to go buy it, and every Barnes & Noble employee on the way out was like, "Oh my God, I love that book. Oh my God, I love that book." So,
oh.
very good.
And that is kind of surprising with a young adult, you know, that so many people would point it out.
Yeah.
But how neat of that Barnes and Noble guy,
He
that
was
he
really
took the
helpful.
time. Yeah, I love it when, even in a clothes store, people that can really pull out outfits and put them,
Closed door. I thought you said a closed door. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's funny because when I walk into a clothes store and they're like, "Hi, can I help?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm just looking." Just like in my zone. I want to be left alone and cry and love changing room by
Oh my
myself.
gosh.
No.
They're probably
just
like,
kidding.
this weirdo, like we're trying to ask her if she's okay, and she's just crying in there.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
Who am I kidding? We know that I get most of my clothes at Goodwill and thrift stores.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful how you thrift,
Yeah.
though.
See,
I really
Mom,
do.
you need to start a business where you can like rent yourself out to people who need like somebody cheering for
Yes.
them. At,
Yes.
like they don't have somebody in the audience. You can be their cheerleader.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you shop at thrift stores.
Well, I do. I just
No,
think,
so
and you
cute.
can always find stuff. I can never
Yeah, I can
find
never
anything,
find
Okay, my next book, also an audiobook that I listened to, was From Scratch by Tembi Locke. This was also narrated by the author because it was a memoir of sorts. It's basically how she met her husband,
Cute.
and it was in Italy, and they're mixed race, and he ends up getting cancer and dying, which you find out really soon. So that's
okay.
not, you know it going into it. But it's all just kind of this love note to Italy and the food, and also just like it's so beautiful because where he's from in Sicily, they're very untrusting of outsiders. And so for him to marry somebody outside of where they're from was like a huge sin. Like he was exiled. And so through the course of the book is like her growing relationship with her in-laws, and it's just really beautiful. And also it inspired me to start cooking again, which I mean, not like I've ever stopped cooking, but I feel like it made me get more excited about like, getting in the kitchen and stuff. Like that's my love language is cooking. So I kind of feel like I went through a bit of a dry spell with that, and so it just got me, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just kind of impacted my life in that way. So that's why I rated it everything but the crumbs. Yeah, so I think that's a
Cute.
read if you're in the right headspace. But it's really not, even though it's about sad things, it's not a sad story to read.
that's
It's
nice.
inspiring, yeah.
That's the way you described it. Now I want to get it and read it.
Aw.
Yeah. So, okay. My next book in April was The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. And once again, it was a book by an author I had already read, and I had loved his Midnight Library. So I was looking forward to reading this book, and I believe I had, it was one of my choices for our book club. I really liked his Midnight Library, and I was hoping to sneak this in for one of our selections when it first came out, and it got poo-pooed. And I did not like it. I mean,
I guess we poo-pooed it for a reason.
yeah, I was, let's see. I mean, there were some neat things in it, but I think it was just too much of a fantasy maybe for me. But I did learn about Tanit, the goddess of the moon, and that symbol. So,
What is the book about?
it was, what was it? Let's see. Here's one of the quotes I put down: "The willingness to be confused."
Well, there you go.
Yeah, is a prerequisite for a good life. All I know is they went off into an alien land somehow, and there was like the seawater, did
Okay, Mary Kate.
Okay, my next book was audiobook, so I don't have it personally with me. But it was The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's nonfiction. I think it's like a collection of like 3 or 4 essays. And he talks a lot about, he did a lot of traveling to Africa and to different places. And it was talking about Palestine and like all the like conflict that's going on there and how he went out there and visited. So it was really nice to listen to. A lot of it did not stick in my head, but I loved listening to it. It was nice on the commute to work and stuff. He wrote a really famous book. He talks about it in this book because his first book, I think it's called Between the World and Me, and that was really popular when like George Floyd happened in the pandemic and stuff, where a lot of people had to kind of like sit in that uncomfortableness and they didn't know what to do, so they turned to books, and his was one of them that got really popular, and a lot of people read it to kind of help deal with the world and understand more and stuff. So I want to get that one. I haven't read it, but he kept mentioning it in this one, so then I want to get that one. And I think it's one of the lists. I think it's like a banned book too.
Okay.
He mentions Between the World and Me was a book that some schools are like trying to ban, and one of the teachers like reached out to him and was like, hey, I'm going to like this school board meeting where they're thinking of banning it. Like, could you like send some information just to like kind of help me with my argument as to why it should stay? And he ended up like going to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
which was
Wow.
like,
Wow.
and it didn't end up getting banned, so that's nice.
Wow.
But it also like, I don't know, we'll talk about it later when we talk about the correspondent, but it kind of like takes. I gave The Message 4 bites because I did really
Okay.
enjoy it, and I think it was very informative, and I like the
Very
sound
good.
of his voice.
Oh.
He was a good narrator.
Okay, so my next one was, I read it on Kindle. It is called Until the Last Light Goes Out. It's by Courtney Gould, I think, Gould. And
Gould.
Gould or Gold, yeah, Gould maybe. or good. Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway,
You're trying to think like could.
yes.
I just didn't do
think
that
it's
in my
Gould.
brain too. That's how I knew that's what you were doing.
So this book is not yet released. I was able to read it before
Oh.
it was released. So it,
Fancy.
yeah, I believe it's being released in October, and it is a horror young
Ooh.
adult
Oh.
novel. Yeah, it was fun.
Uh-oh.
So the book is about there in the 2000s. This group of high school graduates went to stay at a resort, which was owned by one of the graduates' families, and there was a tragedy. Only 5 kids survived, so it like wiped out. All these kids died, and they didn't know
gosh.
why. And now it's like 20 years later, and those survivors have teenagers, and now they go back to the resort. And
Why would you do that?
I know, but bad things happen. It is very scary. I had a nightmare
Oh my
that
gosh.
was related to what happens in the
my
book.
God.
It does just kind of drag on a little too long. It was just getting to the point where I was like, okay, let's just figure out what's happening and end
Yeah.
it, because it was just kind of like a constant
What was the name of it again?
until the last light goes out.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it was good.
It just reminds me of that commercial where, why don't we just get in the car and go away? No, let's hide behind this wall of axes, I mean, in every horror story, it's like they make these like,
Yeah.
why would you, if so many of your teenage friends died there, why would you then bring your teenagers there,
Well, one of the girls goes there, and then they all go to find her. So that's kind of what led them all there. But I was excited about it because I thought it would be a good book that maybe I could read with my teenagers, because I was like, there's the nostalgia of the 2000s, but then also, so I thought it was like, this could be an opportunity for like parents and kids. But yeah. So I gave it half a cookie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last book that I read in April was actually an audiobook, and it was called Vigil. And the premise of the book I really liked, and I thought that the person who read it was
Wrote
her
it?
voice was
Oh, the narrator.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the narrator. I thought she was great. The only thing that drove me nuts was that they also had like a guide narrator. The girl narrator was the main narrator. And so basically, like, she comes flying out of the sky and she helps people pass over from this world to the next.
Okay.
And in the meantime, of course, the guy is like a Scrooge or whatever. But anyways, I like the premise of the book. I like the girl narrator. When the boy narrators would come in, they would say, like, there's the door. And she would say, he said. And there was a lot of dialogue, and every time it was he said, or Ray number 1 said, or whatever, she would say that, and that drove me nuts. He should have just said it, because they want to go word for word of the book, but that drove me nuts. It drove me absolutely nuts. The other thing I learned from this is that I really can only listen to true stories. I space out too much if it's a story. I start thinking about what's going on during the day, what I got to get done, and I've just never been good. I know Grandma not too long ago was talking about how she used to read to us or whatever, and I was like, I know, it was so boring. I hated that book. And she was shocked, but it was just because
Grandma's always good. It's also Mother's Day. Happy Mother's
Oh,
Day.
that's right.
On Mother's Day, you're gonna slander Grandma.
But she was so surprised that I didn't like that book. She thought, because she loved it, everybody loved it,
Aw.
and so
And you
and she had
said
read it to
no.
us, but yeah, and it was only because it was being read to me, because I drift off too much. If I'm reading it, whether it's on Kindle or in a book, I'm seeing the words. The words are like stamped in there
Yeah.
somehow. But with
They
the
also call that
Audible,
ADD.
so anyways, from now on, all my audiobooks will probably be like memoirs, true stories. Yeah. I'm listening to one now, but so anyways, what did I give this book?
Half the cookie you gave it.
Okay, yeah, we'll stick with half a cookie, and that's just because I was half tuned in.
Mom's cookies are actually how much she paid attention to the book. They're not ratings. Oh my god, you're so funny. The next book I read was a Kindle read from the library. It was I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. She wrote her name so tiny on the cover. I gave it everything but the crumbs. I loved it. I cannot reveal why it was not even the crumbs, because that would be a spoiler, but I really enjoyed it. This was me and my girly pops book club book that we read, and actually 2 of my books in April are part of like my girl group book club, and one of them I did not like at all, and then this one I loved. I loved it. It was such a fast read. It's a small book, and it's a dystopian, like, you don't know why these women are here. They're like in like a cage, and it's like 40 women are in the cage, and there's one who like they accidentally put her in with the women, but she was a child when they like grabbed her, so she doesn't remember what happened. She doesn't remember like what life was like before, and so it's kind of just like this like comment on like what are women who grow up outside of the typical society, and like what makes you, it was very, I don't know how to talk about it without giving things away, but I will say it was really good, and it lets your imagination run wild, kind of, which I also really enjoyed, and I enjoyed talking about it. It's a very good, oh no, you're fine. It's a very good book club book. I would say if you're like thinking of what to offer your book club, this is a really good one because you can like discuss a lot with it.
That's what I've heard, that it's a really good book for book clubs because there's so much to talk about afterwards. So
Yeah, but I really loved it. And it was
Very
like
good.
it's gaining popularity now, but it is like an older book, and it's translated from French.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, wow.
French?
French fries. You ever had them? That's all.
Okay. That was very The Devil Wears Prada.
I know,
That's
I've been saying it a lot because, you know.
My next book also Mary Kate read. So this
Oh, yeah.
I listened to the audiobook. This is, I don't know how to say her name. Is it Caro or Caro? Caro. I would just reading it, I would say Caro Claire Burke.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's probably Caro.
Yeah, so it's Yesteryear, which is just got all the buzz right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a I like the other
With, like, the
I
half
can't say it on here,
face.
but
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I like that cover so much better.
I see, and I like this
So-
cover better. The cover I have
Oh.
is like a warped farm, but I kept looking
Yeah.
at this farm when she would talk about the farm, and I'd be like, "What does it look like again?" And
Oh.
I would look at this farm, but this might not even be, because they don't really get to decide the covers or the titles of books a lot.
In our book cover episode, we
Yeah.
talked about how the authors normally don't have any say at all
Yeah.
with the cover.
But also title. Like,
Yeah, that's
sometimes
crazy.
yes.
Yeah.
But like, you know that trad wife book that I proposed for our book club? She didn't have the trad wife title for it. They like put that
trad wife is such a thing right now. I know we're
I
like
know.
going off.
That's why.
But it's
Yes.
like there are so many books that are coming out
Yes.
this year that are titled trad wife.
That's what they were talking
There's
about.
also I feel like there was something
And
else that I
there,
saw too, like a show or a movie.
Elsbeth, yeah. Elsbeth
Oh.
this week had the murderer was the trad wife.
Spoiler.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
definitely
it's like Columbo.
Not really.
It's like Columbo. It's like Columbo. You know right away
Oh,
who
okay.
does the murdering, and
Okay.
then
I was like,
they
what's
just
whoever
stick with
Columbo
it.
is.
So Columbo always act
Oh,
kind
gosh.
of like he was real like scatterbrained,
Okay.
but he was like a dog with a bone.
So that's your soul brother?
Yeah. And so Elsbeth is I would say the modern
Female.
day Columbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you always know who the murderer is, and then she sticks to him, and they kind of prove how he's the wrong one.
All right.
Or she.
Okay. So Yesteryear, I listened to the audiobook. I loved the audiobook.
Oh, really?
And I just have to say, audiobooks, I've been listening to audiobooks for a long time, and they are just getting better and better. So definitely
But-
putting a lot more effort into the narration nowadays. What, Mom?
I was talking with a guy at work who he listens to audiobook all the time, all day long practically, I guess. And I did the Janet Ivanovich books on tape. I would get them from the library. They were actually tape. And and I love like up to like 6, 7, or 8. She has all the books that, start with 1, 2, 2 for the
I
two
get
for
what
the
you- it just
money,
sounds
stuff like
funny.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She's like, she does
Okay.
book
Yeah.
1, and then there's book 2,
Yeah.
3.
I know.
But about 6, 7, or 8, something like that. 6, 7. They switched up the narrator,
Oh.
and I had loved
Oh,
the
that's
narrator,
weird.
so I quit listening because I just could not do it. I loved the first one. She sounded like an old lady when she was supposed to be the grandma.
Well, maybe she
so-
died.
I know, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to say
Oh,
it. Like,
no, I
maybe
don't think
she's
so.
old. Maybe she is an old lady.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, back to Yesteryear.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Keep sidetracking.
No, it's okay. So, okay, before I get into it, Mom, are you done with your books? Okay, so then me and Mary Kate can just kind of piggyback off of each other since we both read it.
Yeah.
So Yesteryear is about a girl who, it's about a woman who,
It is about a woman,
okay,
No, I was just thinking, I do need to say that I'm going to go meet the author on the 18th.
yes.
That's
Yes.
what made you
That's what
laugh so
got you
hard.
laughing? Liar.
You are the worst
Because
liar.
it's like every time you try to start talking, something pops in my head and it's going to come out my mouth.
Now, what's that called again? ADD.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh
It's
my
called
gosh.
Mama Mary.
Yeah. So basically, Yesteryear is a trad wife influencer. And she wakes up and she's actually living in the yesteryear, and it's a nightmare. So, what I like about it so much is that I was super into the Ruby Frankie documentary stuff.
Ooh, yes.
And it's actually, she was like, I think she said she wrote this book and then that all
Yeah.
came out.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's like lifting the veil of the influencer moms and just because that's what happens. There's this clip of Ruby Frankie where she's recording, but obviously she didn't post this, but it came to be when she was charged with stuff. But anyway, she was like yelling at her kids to just kind of like, come on, you have to do this, and like smile, just kind of the behind the scenes
Yeah.
of this influencer life. And there was another video, I don't know who this influencer was, but it was a mom who was like forcing her kid to cry about how sad he was that his pet died.
Oh my God.
And the like behind the scenes footage had aired, and it was just so bad. She's like, come on, cry more. Like, you know, it was just, so anyway, if any of that stuff fascinates you, you will love this book.
Yes.
Because it's, she is not a perfect person at all.
Yeah.
And
like,
yeah.
I have a thing where I tend to love books where I hate the narrator. Like, unlikable,
you don't love her.
unlikable characters. I like, there's something about like having an unlikable narrator that I'm just like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's happened in like thrillers a lot. And this is like a thriller, I would say.
Yeah, thriller-esque.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it.
It's not scary at
No.
all. Not in a normal scary way.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I really loved this book, and it was a Good Morning America book club.
Yes.
You know how I feel about
So
those.
we are wanting, so Mom's going to meet the author. I'm also going to try to meet the author because she's coming to Madison. But it's also dance recital week, so everything is just crazy. And we want Mom to read the book so then we can do maybe a bonus episode of talking about Yesteryear, you know, because there's just so much to talk about, I think. And
yeah. And I would say for this one, if you're thinking about picking it up, there were so many aspects of this book that I just could never have predicted. And so I think I also really liked that aspect of it. Like, every chapter, I was like, what is going to go on? What is going to be revealed in this chapter? Like, it was just, I loved it so much. And I think it's her debut novel, which is crazy.
Wow.
yeah.
I'll make sure.
So I gave full cookie.
Yeah, I gave full cookie. Absolutely.
And that's all my books. So Mary Kate, it's on you.
So the one I have left, I gave a couple bites. This was the other book that I had for my Girly Pop book club, which was Ithaca by Claire North. This book I had been trying to get through since a while. I think I got the physical copy from the library, I want to say in like a couple months ago. I can't do the math backwards. And then it was taking me forever to get through, and then I got it on Kindle, and then I was able to get through it faster because I like to read as I walk, and so I wasn't wanting to really finish the story. Like, I wasn't compelled to finish it that much, but because it was a book club book, and because it's such a thick book, and I was already halfway through, I was like, I'm not wasting that. I will get my Goodreads one more book added to my challenge. But it is it's a retelling of Greek mythology, and about this island, Ithaca, and like the queen that was there. Her husband went off to fight in Troy and like has died, or like he's disappeared. He's not actually dead. The parts of it that I did like was that it was told through the eyes of Hera, Zeus's wife lady, and queen or goddess of like mothers or something. Oh, Mother's Day.
Yeah,
She could
perfect.
also be the goddess of something else. I don't know. I can't remember.
No, that sounds
I
right.
always thought it was Goddess of Love, wasn't?
No,
wasn't
that's
she?
Athena.
no, that's
Right? No,
Yeah.
no,
okay.
no, it's
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Yeah. So the whole premise is that they're creating a army of women because all the men like died in Troy and they have to protect their island.
Gotcha.
But that part was such a tiny bit of the novel. Like, if the whole novel was that part, I think I would have really liked it. But I feel like they like dragged it on and on and on. So it wasn't my favorite, obviously. But I'm sure people who like slow burns and Greek mythology would really,
And more.
would really connect with it. I only connected with bits and pieces versus like the whole thing.
Okay.
So that is my
Okay.
last book of April.
Okay.
Right?
Well, we did pretty well
Yeah, I think so.
for
Yeah,
April.
we
Our
kept it
reading.
under an hour.
Oh, that's not what I meant. But I just meant our reading. Like we did a good job.
Oh,
with
Yeah.
I felt like I really kind of, well, and I think part of it was I did not read my Molly Malone book.
But you also were working
Yeah.
Helen Plum.
crazy hours.
I was working crazy hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Yep. So, okay, very good. So we'll wrap this up, and
Okay.
we're going to talk
Okay.
about cookbooks. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's everything that we read in April. We would love to hear what you would recommend, any reading that you did this month, and I hope that we inspired you to pick up some books. If you read any of the books that
Oh,
we
yes.
read, please comment. I want to know
Yes.
what you rated them as, and if you also would recommend them or not recommend them, like all of Mom's choices
Yes.
this month were kind of non-recommendations. But
Which is sad because I like both those authors.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. But I mean, not every book is for everyone.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
Mom.
Mom.
Okay. And with that, I will go ahead and I'll push that button.